let's say we get a third Batman movie, but like at the end of this third one, something happens and we get an Arkham City movie, but the king of Arkham City is the Joker, but we don't see it really till like the back half of the movie, like an interaction between him and Batman. But Batman's just basically working his way through like his lower end of his rogues gallery, maybe like a Killer Moth or, or is it Killer Moth or Firefly?
They're both villains.
I know. Which one's a Batman villain?
They're both Batman villains.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious.
That is so stupid. Okay.
What did you say? Flagpole.
Take your stinking paw off me, you damn 38!
No! You're a wizard, Harry.
In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you.
And I care! What is the deal?
No, do me a favor, Captain. Go fuck yourself.
Language. Why so serious?
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm vengeance.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Welcome back to That's So Random, the most random podcast on the internet. I'm Braden, and with me, as per usual, it's Andrew. He's back. He's been showing up to work.
Thursday, October 31st. The streets are crowded for the holiday. Even with the rain, hidden in the chaos is the element, waiting to strike, like snakes. And I'm there too, watching. 2 years of night have turned me into a nocturnal animal. I must choose my targets carefully. It's a big city. I can't be everywhere. They don't know where I am. We have a signal now for when I'm needed. But when the light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning. To them, fear is a tool. They think I'm hiding in the shadows, but I am the shadows. Best opening monologue ever for a Batman movie?
Isn't it like the only monologue? Have we ever seen a monologue before this in a live-action Batman movie anyway?
I don't know.
An inner monologue, I should say.
Didn't he have one in Mask of the Phantasm?
Don't
Good question.
recall.
Good thing neither one of us can find that out, so it'll just be a question left up for time. Only time can tell us.
We've covered Mask of the Phantasm on the show before, so go listen to that episode. Maybe we talked about that. I don't remember him having an inner monologue, though.
But if you don't know what we're talking about, it's the Batman. Matt Reeves' Batman.
And that monologue is technically the second scene, because the first scene of that movie is Riddler stalking and brutally murdering the Mirror.
I think they should have kind of swapped them, don't you? I think we should have opened on this. Don't you agree? Or am I kind of stupid here?
I think, for a movie called The Batman, that's very Batman focused, I'd probably agree, yes. But I think
so. I have a hot
take.
Yeah, I have a hot take that this is my favorite Batman movie. I think.
Is that a hot take? I feel like a lot of people love this movie. I feel like my choice is probably the popular one though, which is lame.
Yeah, so
The Dark Knight's the best.
I will put The Dark Knight the best just because Heath Ledger carries that movie.
Yes, if you're talking solely Batman, like based off of Batman himself, just Batman, not including Bruce Wayne as part of that, this is probably the best Batman movie because it's very Batman focused.
It feels the most like real in a way, because Bruce has a lot of money, but remember how he gets back into the Iceberg Lounge? He like puts on like a trench or like a jacket and just carries his suit in on a backpack and whatever. He doesn't use some like high-tech gadget or something like that to, try to sneak his way back in or anything like that. It's just like
he goes in as Batman the first time and then he just goes in as Bruce Wayne the next time.
Yeah. Well, he had to do it that way for reasons. I don't know.
Well, he goes in as Bruce the second time because that's after the news of Falcone being involved in the Wayne's murder comes through, or the Wayne's been involved with the Arkham's murder and all that.
Yeah. So it's been a couple days since I've seen it, so some of this is a little foggy. But man, I remember when we were talking about watching this, and I was like, "Oh God, almost a 3-hour runtime," and you were like, "Yeah, Once I started this movie, though, it was a breeze. such an easy watch, you know? It didn't feel long. Towards the end of it, I just kind of wanted more. That's why I'm really looking forward to watching the Penguin.
Yes, I will say, so the Penguin, the first episode you're gonna see on Max, it's like an hour and 15 minutes. The last 10 minutes is just like an inside look of like it's a preview, shows a preview of like what's coming up with the whole series, and then it's just like an inside look of like what they're going to do with the show, like what they brought and everything. So the last 10 minutes isn't even the episode. The episode's basically just an hour long, so it does not feel like an hour long though, much like the Batman does not feel like three.
Yeah, that was just good pacing. That opening fight scene. So you're a big Riddler fan. How did you feel that they portrayed him? I'm not talking about his costume. I'm just talking about him as a
Yeah,
character.
I hate his
Did you
costume.
like him? Yeah, did.
Yeah,
What
yeah, I
about
like
him in this
him.
movie though?
Yeah, yeah, I liked it. I kind of he did have the like Jigsaw Zodiac killer type vibe, but I kind of wish he had even more of the like Jigsaw type vibe, where like he just his riddles are basically traps to kill these people. Which I mean, I guess you get enough of that because that's what like the bomb at the funeral to the DA.
Yeah, that dude. What an idiot. he
Hey,
killed
that
himself. You
raises the
know.
question though. DA dies. Are we gonna get Harvey Dent in the next movie? I don't want Two-Face in the next
That's
movie, but like Harvey Dent.
well. I want them to set up some stuff like how they set up things in this one. You know. I don't know why. I know you said Matt Reeves didn't want to do a Robin, but did it not feel like they were kind of setting up a Robin with the
Well, I
mayor's
don't know if
son
he's came
and
out on
how
record saying he doesn't want to do Robin. I don't feel like with where he's taking this, he's going to do Robin, but he definitely could.
so here's what I see is like so you see the mayor's son a lot and Bruce probably sees himself in the mayor's son, you know, being he's not an orphan, but you know, he's lost his dad and whatever. And you know,
Yeah.
you find out that Bruce thought his dad was like a man of gold, but it turns out his dad wasn't, you know, his dad made mistakes or whatever. So, which I mean, let's be honest, you hire a mobster to take care of somebody, you have to expect that killing them is going to be on the table, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's Gotham. Like, but I understand what another side tangent thing when Bruce is talking to Falcone and he says when he's talking about the night that his dad saved him and Bruce just says he took it sounds like he took an Hippocratic oath. I was like,
Yeah.
damn. Damn. He basically just said he would have let you die if he did not take this oath.
Yeah, the thing
But
with the mayor's son was like kind of similar to the nightclub thing where like he goes in as Batman, then he goes in as Bruce. Like the first time he sees the kid, it's as Batman, and then the next time he sees him is at the funeral as Bruce.
yeah. But then he sees the kid again at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
He saves him. Also, didn't you like how at the end of this movie, we were bouncing around all over the place, but at the end of this movie, they just destroyed Gotham, which
Yeah, with the
I
flood.
liked. Yeah, that's so cool. You know, normally it's about Batman saving the day. You know, oh, he prevented. No, he failed, technically, you know?
Well, that's what
This
this whole
shows
movie
that
was kind of about. It's like it even starts with Batman being like, don't know if what I'm doing is enough, and he kind of learns throughout the movie that he has to be more like he can't just be vengeance and save the
vengeance, yes,
city.
he has to be a sign of hope.
Yeah, so
Yeah, a
I
symbol of
love
hope.
Batman's arc in this, and also they set up like that he needs to do more as Bruce Wayne too. Like Bruce Wayne has just been a
Yes.
recluse, and with the new mayor like coming to him and being like, "Yo, we need your funding for some bullshit," he's like, "Oh, I should probably be more of
Yeah,
a public
let's
figure and stuff."
well, yeah, and like Alfred tells him, and I know you had a problem with Alfred not being in this movie a lot, and I get it, but at the same time, I also get why they did what they did because he has that arc with Alfred. You know, he says when he's sitting there in the hospital with him, I never thought I would have to feel that fear again, like the night he lost his parents, and like Alfred kind of like tears up and he reaches his hand out and they like hold hands there, and I'm like there you go. That's the relationship I want to see, you know?
Yeah, yeah, like
Because at the beginning of the
I
movie,
want to see Alfred and Bruce bond as father and son because like even though Alfred was like I wasn't fit to be a father figure, like I could teach you how to fight all that, but like
but I
Alfred, you're
couldn't be
his
your
father
father.
figure.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. But you ever wondered how somebody goes from being in the Secret Service to just being a butler?
They meet someone very rich
I guess.
that's like,
But
"Yo,
isn't that kind of
you wanna not risk your life every day? You wanna just like Butler me.
Also, I don't know. I just feel like everything about this movie was perfect. I think The Dark Knight holds a little bit too much nostalgia, but I think this movie could contend with it. I'm not saying that the characters are better, but I'm saying every portrayal, maybe not his Bruce Wayne because we didn't see enough of it, but everything fits what I want to see from a Batman movie more than any other Batman movie in the past. And you said you liked the Burton Gotham the most, but I liked this one because it felt real. It felt like I could go to this city and it be real. Where the Burton's Gotham it had Burtonisms, there was
Very
goofy
gothic.
cars and goofy cars and stuff was just very unrealistic in it. But
I
this
don't have
one
a
felt
problem
like
with
a
that
real
though.
city. I don't either, but
Like I prefer that over
for
what the Dark Knight trilogy did, where it's just Chicago, and then like wherever they
yeah,
shot in the Dark Knight Rises, Pittsburgh or New York or wherever. For sure they shot some of
I
it in
thought it
both,
was.
but
I thought they shot it at like MetLife Stadium because they keep calling. Aaron Rodgers keeps wearing a shirt that says Gotham City Football.
interesting.
Yeah, so
I have no
whatever.
idea.
I don't know. Well, didn't you see some of that Gotham City Football in that Thursday night game?
Bro, let's not talk about the Thursday
Oh,
game. Yeah, we're
oh,
recording
sorry,
this a
sorry. Let's
little
just.
late. Little late on the schedule. We usually
Yeah,
try to get
sorry about
these up
that.
before the Thursday.
Yeah. Hair bit late. That's on me though. You said I was showing up to work, but I'm just a little late.
Hey, we're
Regardless,
still
though.
here.
Oh, I'm so excited for whatever. I hope James Gunn lets Matt Reeves just cook with let him build his own little Batman universe here. I hope
I
that's
will
what
say,
James
yeah, I will
Gunn has.
say. Sorry, you can go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, what he has here is something special, and they should not can it or cancel it or try to combine it in. If you want to do a crisis thing and then throw this Batman in there, that's fine. Whatever, who cares? But
Hopefully
just
that's like
let
10 years
Matt
down the line,
Reeves.
though.
Yeah. Don't ruin this universe right now. Who would have thought Edward from Twilight would be up there as one of the best Batmans that we've ever had in live action?
Uh, I don't
You
know.
know?
I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of the work Robert Pattinson has done after Twilight is phenomenal. So he's
Well,
a
I'm
great
saying in
actor.
2008, let's say in 2008, a little 8-year-old us. Was that 2008 when it came out, Twilight?
I have
I think it
no
was.
clue when that came out.
I think it was
I know it
2008.
was around the same time as like the last few Harry Potters, so I think you're in the ballpark.
But let's say, 2008, little us, little 8-year-old us, uh, go to the theater and we're sitting down and we're watching the Twilight movie for God knows what reason. 8-year-old us. And I look at the screen and I say, see that vampire guy? He's gonna be Batman one day and he's gonna be one of the best. You would
I would.
probably look at me, punch me, pull a fire alarm, and then scream that I had some sort of weaponry and everybody would beat the shit out of me. An eight
Like,
year old
dude, no,
child.
no one in this
For that,
movie is ever gonna be Batman.
yeah. But God, it's
Come a long way.
yeah. I loved the Selena Kyle stuff, which I thought when I first watched this movie, I thought it was gonna dwell on Catwoman too much, and I was like, ugh, I hope it's not gonna be like a Dark Knight Rises kind of situation. I didn't like I did not like Anne Hathaway's Catwoman. I just thought it was kind of, I thought it took
I don't.
away from a
I
kind
know
of
it's
a
always
better
been a thing, and
story.
I don't know if it's just because it's something I've seen so much in everything. Like we've had it in so many of the live action movies at this point. It was in the 66 one, it was in Batman Returns, it was in the Dark Knight Rises. We get in this one, it's been in like all the animated shows. I do not care about the Batman Catwoman relationship at all.
I liked this one the most because
I still
she
like the
can
Batman
tell,
Returns one the most, but that's probably just because I love Michelle Pfeiffer.
yeah, and you hate Michael Keaton.
I love Michael Keaton.
Contraire. I don't believe.
Best
I
Batman.
don't believe you.
Still.
Best Batman or best Bruce Wayne?
Best Batman. I'm hoping Robert
Dude, he was
Pattinson's
a
Bruce
total.
Wayne becomes like a middle ground of Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne and Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne because I don't want him going full
What
like
if
playboy
I
party
kind of want
guy.
him to do kind of like not necessarily like that, but kind of like a Tony Stark, like an arrogant kind of, but it's all a facade. And then it's like you see him like dip behind a curtain or something like that, and like the face drops, and he's him, he's himself. he's Bruce Wayne again, or Batman again. He's not the arrogant tech billionaire kind of guy. That's kind of what I want him to do.
Might go in that direction. Who knows? I really don't know what they're gonna do with Bruce.
But yeah, I want to see more of the Bruce Alfred relationship stuff in the next one. Also, I don't really want any more side characters. More villains would be fine, but no more like Catwoman or anything.
I will say he was a smaller player in this, and I'm glad he's got his own mini series going. It's gonna we know the end point of where the Penguin's gonna go. He's gonna become the Kingpin of Gotham, like we're used to him being. But I like the setup for that in this one with Falcone dying and Penguin kind of standing up to him, and then Riddler just shooting him. But I will say, just
Yeah.
with this movie and the first episode, the Penguin, this may already be my favorite version of the Penguin. Colin Farrell is so damn good in that role. And I think every scene he was in this movie, he was maybe the best character.
Well, did you notice how when they were doing the drop stuff, like the money was being brought in and he was giving the girls drops to go take to people? Oh my gosh, my dog
Yeah.
remembers.
Your dog was like,
he
yeah,
kinda
I remember
kept-
that part.
Yeah, that was his favorite part actually. But you see Penguin
The
keep
drugs.
side-eyeing Batman. Yeah. You see him keep side-eyeing, like, is this what he's here for? Like, what the fuck is this dude? What the fuck is bro here for? And then, they get out and stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, he doesn't care about this right now. So he's not worried about it.
Yeah, yeah. Also, why is Penguin the only one that understands Spanish? Like, why could Batman and Gordon not decode El Dorado or whatever? And why is a stool pigeon what their mind went to and they're like a rat with wings? I'm like, bro, you're literally Batman. Why are you not thinking of a bat right now? That's
Yeah,
the
no
first
kidding.
thing I thought of.
That was the only thing where I was like, God, he's kind of an idiot. But that was the only time I thought that,
Yeah, I just didn't understand that just because he's literally in a bat costume and bats are referred to
Yeah.
as rats has wings so much.
I really liked Gordon in this a lot.
I did too.
One of my
This is
favorite
something
scenes
I'm glad
is-
we're finally getting this on a consistent basis now. Like Batman movies that come out have Gordon as playing a big role. I'm like, that's my main complaint with the Burton movies. And even the Schumacher ones, as silly as they are, I'm like, why could you not just make Gordon a bigger part?
The only one of the movies that I forgive is Batman and Robin because it was perfect in every way,
That's true. That's true. No problems
Like
with Batman and Robin. That's a 6 out of 5-star movie all day, every day.
Yeah, it can't even be put on the same scale as other ones,
Yeah, I mean, we were saying The Dark
No.
Knight and the Batman and this movie is like are the best Batman movies, but that was just disregarding Batman and Robin because it's unfair to compare.
Yeah. So, but regardless of that, like my favorite scene between the two is like Gordon basically puts his neck on the line for Batman in that scene where all the cops are in the room with him and the chief of police is like, I got you on assaulting an officer, and he like whips around, he's like, get me on assaulting 3. And then Gordon's like pulls him aside and he's like, what the hell is wrong with you? He's like, you're gonna punch me and take this key. Or no, he says, we gotta get you out of here. Just talking under his breath. Oh, I love it.
They just like punch me, and then Batman punches them, and then they meet on the rooftop or whatever.
Yeah. He says,
Gordon's
I
like,
thought you
I
would've
didn't mean
pulled the
that
punch."
hard.
He's like, I thought you'd pull your punch. I did. But isn't that crazy though? Like well, I mean, I guess you see the damage that he can do to somebody with that Riddler goon that he beat up.
Yeah,
He was
we're
punching
skipping
the
around.
shit out
We've
of
been
that
doing
guy.
this the whole time, but just the adrenaline he pulls out at the end, that's the thing that still baffles me to that point. I'm like, we're gonna get an explanation of that, right? Because that's not something Batman just usually carries in his utility belt. Like, why does he have adrenaline on him?
I mean, whatever. It worked. Who cares?
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I'm just curious.
Well, if you think about it, I made my own kind of headcanon with that, and he's still new. This is like year 2 for him. Instead of Batman year 1, we got Batman year 2. But he's still new. So it's like he's kind of gets his ass kicked sometimes. It's how people were pulling him by the cape and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That normally doesn't happen to him.
Man, that
But, like,
body
how
armor
we
is
know
really
him.
good, though. How many times did he get shot in this movie and just keep moving
Yeah,
forward?
no shit. No shit. He got shot so many fucking times.
Didn't phase him whatsoever.
Yeah, I kind of wish he would like grunt or whatever to the bullets. or like kind of fall to him or whatever. But it does make him more menacing.
Oh yeah, just walking through bullets.
Yeah, like when he cuts the power and he's beating up Falcone's men in the Iceberg Lounge, and he's just walking through you're just seeing the flashes of bullets or the gunfire or whatever. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty awesome. I love all that. God, this
I
movie's just
love
perfect.
the
It's so.
penguin car chase scene.
Oh yeah, where he's like, I got you, you crazy son of a bitch," and then you see the fire, and it's like, or the car come through the fire. One of my favorite Batmobiles. I remember I didn't really like it the first time around. Second time around, I think it's pretty badass.
I think it works for this movie in this universe.
Yeah, I was gonna say it works for this. Like if I seen that in like a Schumacher or a Burton universe, it wouldn't work. And then the Bale verse, it wouldn't have really worked either. Like if Christian Bale rolled up in like an M1 Abrams tank, that would
Yeah, no,
work.
this felt not the city itself, but as far as like not the building design, I should say, but like a lot of the rest of the city, like the cars and such, they felt, I guess, more ageless, more timeless than like the Nolan trilogy did, because like Nolan's still feels very modern, and I didn't really get that vibe from this. Like it felt kind of like more like the Burton, where it's like feels more timeless. You don't really know the time era this is taking place in. I'm pretty
Well,
sure
it
they do
could
have
be
cell
like
phones though, so
yeah. Well, it could be one of them things where it's like this could be like in the modern day era, but with old timey technology, like that kind of. In Batman the animated series, that's kind of the way I feel. Which I told you, I think I remember telling you that it kind of made me think of this, the
yeah, you
Batman.
said this feels kind of like Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, in that way, like I mean, they're using blimps. What? Why would they use blimps? Nobody uses blimps in that like really anymore at all. But
Yeah, I've never
I
seen a
don't know.
blimp.
Yeah, no, you don't normally. You like see them like sometimes over like NASCAR games or something like that, or NASCAR races or whatever, or football games every once in a while.
Yeah, they pulled a lot, which I'm pretty sure I texted you this too. They pulled a lot from the Long Halloween in this movie. I feel like that's the comic they probably drew the most from, which I'm pretty sure is inspired by that, like Batman Earth 1 and Zero Year, which Zero Year is like a big Riddler comic, so that would make sense. But the
Well,
Falcone stuff specifically, like, was all pretty much pulled from Long Halloween, like him stitching up his father, or his father stitching him up, saving his life, Bruce witnessing it as a kid, Selena being his illegitimate daughter, all that. And plus,
yeah.
the
So,
first part of it takes place on Halloween, so
what do you think's better? This version? I guess we could kind of call this the Long Halloween in a way. Would that be? I guess it's not really the Long Halloween, but it kind of feels
not
like it in
really.
a way
It took a
because
lot
it
from the
ends on
Long
like
Halloween, but it's
it
not.
it ends on like November 3rd or something like that, or November 7th,
Yeah.
something like
And the
that.
Long Halloween takes place
And
over the course of an entire year.
yeah, but
I
what do
mean,
you think did
Riddler
it better
did
though?
sort of kind of feel like Holiday though, like killing, which I mean, he was well, he was trying to expose Falcone the whole time because Falcone ended up being the rat. And
Yeah.
that's what Riddler is trying to do the entire time. And like Holiday's whole thing in Long Halloween is just basically exposing the Falcone family, Falcone crime family, and he's picking off members of the family.
What I loved was that Riddler thought that him and Batman were a team because he couldn't have killed Falcone without Batman's help because he brought him out into the light,
Yeah, the first time I
for
saw
Riddler to
that, like
take
in
the
the
shot.
theater, when Riddler is just saying Bruce Wayne, I'm like, oh, he knows Batman's Bruce Wayne, which I feel like that's probably what everyone thought when they first saw that scene. But it's like, no, no, he just despises Bruce Wayne because he's like, Bruce Wayne, he was never an orphan. He doesn't know what
Yeah,
being
yeah.
an orphan is.
Yeah, it's like where he was seeing kids turn into drop heads like, at 8 years old, Bruce Wayne was, being his tears were being wiped away by his butler.
Yeah,
And
he's
I
living in a
get what Riddler's
mansion.
talking about. I get what Riddler's talking about, but they both experience pain in different ways. You know,
Yes. They
it
both experience
it's not
loss.
easy. Yeah, it's not easy. It's just what they did with that loss turned them into who they are. Batman becomes Bat or Bruce becomes Batman, and is it Edward Enigma? Is that normally his name? or was
Yeah, I
that
think in
just?
this it was Edward Nashton, but Enigma might have been his other name. I'm pretty sure he had like two last names on the card, but it goes by really
Oh, okay.
fast.
Yeah. So
But Nashton also has presidents in the comics, so I mean either way.
yeah. Regardless, and he becomes Riddler. So I don't know this version of the Riddler. I hope they don't do some sort of weird twist. And actually, I hope they end up making him Hush. That's kind of my end goal for this universe. What do you think about that?
Yeah. That's not my problem with Batman.
What's your
That's
problem with
everyone
Batman
else's
Hush?
problem. That they do the Riddler
Oh,
dirty. I didn't
oh,
have a problem
I
with him
couldn't
being
remember
Hush.
what
It's
your
just
problem
like they
was.
make him a joke and shit.
No, no, I'm just
Which
kidding. I want Hush to be his childhood best friend or whoever it normally is.
Thomas Elliot.
But yeah,
So Matt Reeves,
no,
I'm
but
pretty sure has
the
said the second one's gonna be about like corruption in Gotham. So I don't know. That makes me think Court of Owls might be in the second or something because I feel like they're the big one when you're talking corrupt since they've had control of the city for hundreds of years and stuff. And I mean that would just expand on
so
this one too. This one's very much about corruption and Riddler trying to expose all that.
well, maybe Riddler. They could play in that Riddler. How did Riddler figure out that Falcone was a rat? Somebody had to give him this information.
I mean, how did he figure out any of that? How did he figure out that Martha was
Exactly.
institutionalized and that
Institutionalized. Yeah, I
yeah,
gotcha.
and that Thomas had the Arkhams killed, all
Yeah,
that.
so it's like it's somebody had to feed him this information, and maybe the core owls will be like, you'll see him, and they'll be like, oh well, that that Edward guy was kind of a fucking loose cannon, wasn't he? Got his ass caught, but I guess he did exactly what they wanted him to do. You know,
Yeah.
he may have had his own
I'm
side
wondering where
plot
that
and
Joker
fucking
Riddler
flooding
tease
the
is gonna
city.
end up though.
I
'Cause
don't know.
I
I
don't really
hope they
think we're
just
gonna get
let it
yeah, I don't think we're gonna
sit
get
on
in
it.
two, and I don't want it in two, but like that's why, like you were saying, just let this Matt Reeves do his thing and this franchise live out for as long as it needs to. Because like if it's movie three or movie four and we get that, I'm down for it. Like I want to see a Joker Riddler team up, and it's not gonna last. Joker's gonna cross Riddler or vice versa. I'd assume Joker crosses
What if
Riddler before Riddler crosses him.
okay, here's my stupid but prediction that would be pretty cool. So are they in Blackgate or Arkham?
Riddler and Joker, that's Arkham, I believe. Yeah, that's Arkham.
Okay. So what if Court of Owls ends and let's say we get a third Batman movie, but like at the end of this third one, something happens and we get an Arkham City movie, but the king of Arkham City is the Joker. But we don't see it really till like the back half of the movie, like an interaction between him and Batman. But Batman's just basically working his way through like his lower end of his rogues gallery, maybe like a killer moth or is it killer moth or firefly?
They're both villains.
I know which one's a Batman villain.
They're both Batman villains.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious.
That is so stupid. Okay, well let's say
So
he beat them both up.
Firefly's the arson, and Killer
Okay.
Moth. I don't really know what his whole thing. He's different in like any incarnation. Sometimes he's literally a giant moth, which would not be this universe's version of him. It'd just be a guy in a moth suit,
Or what if he's
like in
just a
Lego
guy
Batman.
named what if he's just a guy named Moth and he's a hitman? Would you be opposed to that? But he wears a cool helmet?
I mean, I wouldn't care. I feel like you can
I mean,
make
I wouldn't be
Firefly
opposed
just
to that.
Hitman too. That's what Arkham Origins did. They just made Firefly an assassin.
Oh, so they just made him Killer Moth. But I don't know. Work your way through his rogues gallery and just give us like an Arkham City type movie. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, give us a Crazy Quilt, Zebra Man, Ten-Eyed Man, Polka Dot Man. Give us all
Give
these
us
guys
John Cena's Peacemaker.
in the Batman.
Yeah, he just rolls through and then Batman just beats the fuck out of him. He
I
just stabs
have
himself.
I've heard like rumors or theories or whatever about Peacemaker maybe being like kind of like Psycho Pirate and like connecting the events that happened in the past universe that also took place in this universe, like the new James Gunn one, because Psycho
Oh
Pirate
yeah,
is like a character that understands the multiverse and how it works. So I don't know how I'd
interesting.
feel. I mean, that would be interesting if they went that route and like Peacemaker understood the multiverse and like what events from like season 1 and the Suicide Squad occurred in the same universe, but what events took place on a separate Earth type stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't want him to show up in this universe at all.
Well, me
I was
either.
just
I was
kidding.
just saying. But
Yeah.
what if he understood that this universe was taking place?
Well, then he can fucking understand it. So he can leave it alone.
Well, you will
Leave
need that
this universe
character
alone,
once it,
Matt
well,
Reeves.
not Peacemaker, but like a Psycho Pirate type character if they ever do Crisis on Infinite Earths because he's a massive part of that story.
Yeah, Marvel's got it pretty easy, honestly.
Marvel has
They
it
just got to
easy.
be like, yeah, they're just like, fucking Spider Verse, and they're like, all right, that's pretty much all they got to do. There's
Dude, I
multiple
remember
Earths.
that movie
We're
was slated for
gonna-
March of this year, the Beyond the Spider-Verse, and I'm pretty sure that thing still doesn't have a release date again because it was like
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they moved it because of like the strikes, but the strikes have been over forever. So I'm like, are you ever gonna give us another release date? Like, how was that shit supposed to come out 6 months after the last one, and now it just doesn't have a release date?
when is the next Batman movie coming out?
Batman Part 2, October of 2026, baby. Forever from now.
Oh,
Well, I guess
jeez.
that's 2 years from now. Yeah, it was supposed to be October of next year, but it got delayed a full year.
Oh man.
Hey, but you
Oh
got the
well.
Penguin between then, at
I
least.
know. I was about to say, well, at least we get the Penguin. Do you think a
I'm
Mister
ready to see
Freeze would
more.
fit in this universe?
You could make it work. You know what character
I
I
don't
would
know.
love to see in this universe?
Who?
Professor Pig.
Oh, that would actually be a really good one.
Yeah, dude,
Just a straight up
I
serial
want him
killer.
so much. Yes, I would love just a. The Batman's the closest we got into it with like Riddler being a pseudo serial killer, but just like Batman hunting down a serial killer type thing. Because he wasn't.
Like,
I wouldn't even say he was really hunting down Riddler in this movie because Riddler was leaving the riddles, obviously. So it was more of a detective type thing than tracking.
well, I want to see him like be a detective. I'd like to
Well, me
see him
too,
like,
but I don't think that has to be like the biggest aspect of the movie. Just make it
no,
a
no.
big part of his character.
Wouldn't it be cool, like if like Professor Pig and him like meet within like the first couple minutes of the movie or something like that? Like he detects out, he uses his detective skills to figure out where he's at, and they encounter each other, and then just Professor Pig just beats the fuck out of him and almost kills him, but he escapes, and then he starts covering his tracks better. Maybe he figures out that maybe Professor Pig's like doing some research on the Batman and starts figuring stuff out, like who his secret identity is, and maybe starts killing people close to him or something. Like, I don't know. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Professor Pig's intelligent to know if he could do all that. I mean, I know he's intelligent, but I don't know if his mind would work in the way that he even wants to know who Batman is, or is even interested in
Mm.
that part of Batman. Because his whole thing is like cutting people up and like implanting chips and shit in them, basically performing surgery to make them perfect in his eyes, and he makes them like dolls, and I don't remember what he calls them, but like Dollatrons or some shit.
Oh, so he's just helping
I don't know.
everybody out.
He's very creepy, but I'd love to see him in this universe because I think he'd fit so well.
Maybe we need to see the Winnie the Pooh verse and the Batman connect.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. Fuck you too.
Yeah, I know those are your favorite movies.
Yeah.
Those Winnie the
Well,
Pooh horror movies, whatever they're called. Blood and Honey, and I don't know the second one.
there was two.
Yes, I only know this because of like uh my little cousin was talking about them, and I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? There's two? He's like, yeah, they're making a third one too. I'm like, why? How?
Who
How
the
many people are
fuck
watching
first?
these?
Apparently, quite a bit. Enough to make two. Now enough to make three.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know
So
there's like
this
a
is our
Grinch one,
PSA
there's
to
a Frosty the Snowman one. I'm like, okay, I'm not interested in any of these.
here's
You
our
know what? You
PSA
know
to
what
everybody.
franchise I would love to see a horror movie of though? Fucking Scooby Doo. I think you could make that work so well.
Yeah, have Scooby die.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I mean, it's about a group of kids and they're talking dog solving mysteries. Just make it like a murder mystery.
Well, they
It's
kind of
not that
already
hard to
have
turn into
something like
horror.
that.
Zombie Island.
No, there's an
Oh.
episode of Supernatural.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. That's the only episode of Supernatural I've ever seen.
A pretty good episode, isn't it?
Yeah, they get transported in like the TV and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah, and Fred's like, "Uh-oh, gang," and he's like, "No, that's a real dead body." Fred's like, "What?" Starts freaking out.
Well, we went all over the place with the Batman, But do we have anything more to say?
This movie is perfect, and please, for the love of everything, James Gunn, listen to the people and leave this alone.
I think he is thus far. So, will David Zaslav continue to let him though? Is going to be the real question. I think it'll all depend on how much money the Batman 2 ends up making.
Please, everybody go see the Batman 2, whether it's good or bad. We can
Because the
course
Penguin
correct
already
from
has
there.
like it's like critically acclaimed from like critics and stuff, everyone that's already seen the series, so that they're 2 for 2 pretty much in this franchise from a critical aspect. We'll see what the audience point of view is once Penguin ends, but as far as I can tell, people like the first episode. I loved the first episode. I thought it was awesome. I'm ready to see more. I love this version of the Penguin. Or this version of Batman. I hope we see this
Yeah,
version of the Riddler in a more traditional Riddler costume. I love that so much. Please don't put him back in that stupid fucking leather.
what if he just wears like a ball cap,
That would be fine. Wait, a ball
but
cap?
it's green? Yeah,
Not the
just a
Boulder hat?
baseball hat. Nope, just a baseball hat. And it's just a green hat.
Does it have question marks?
No, it has an exclamation point.
Well, that would be awful.
You would be fine with this universe being canceled if they did that?
I'm not saying that. If he wore it backwards, it would be better.
Oh, okay, so he has to wear it backwards with an exclamation point. But what if there's a question mark? Can he wear it sideways?
He can wear it however he wants to if it's got a question mark. That fits better than whatever they did in this movie.
Gotcha. Okay, I was just checking.
Yeah, my main problem
So,
with this movie is probably the Riddler costume, like just from an aesthetic standpoint. But character-wise, I thought Riddler was pretty damn good.
the Batman costume is perfect, by the way.
Oh, the Batman
Really
costume was
enjoyed
sick.
it. Yeah. My rating scale would be, how many riddles could you have solved from this universe's Riddler?
Oh man, the answer's justice. How many of these riddles could I have solved? Not many, man. These were not the easiest riddles to solve. I'm just gonna say one. I might have maybe could have solved the justice one.
I'm gonna say just zero. So I'm gonna say there was like 10 riddles, maybe. So this movie's a 0 out of 10, and it's a 1 out of 10 for you. So there we go. That's the rating scale.
But that's good. The less riddles you can solve, the better.
Yeah, yeah. That means the riddles were good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure anyone listening has seen this movie. So let us know what you thought if you made it this far.
where can you find this?
Oh, you can find the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube at the Red Arrow if you're not already there, wherever else you find your podcast. And
What are we
yeah,
doing next week?
maybe what are we doing? That's an excellent question. Oh, we're probably gonna talk about Joker because Joker 2 is coming up. That's what we're gonna be doing. So we're gonna go from Batman to Joker.
Oh shit! This one I remember. I was hesitant. I'm hesitant to watch this one too. Will it fly by and be a breeze like the Batman? Who knows? I guess I'll find out.
I'm just gonna tell you, don't watch that movie before bed. It
The Joker.
I wouldn't recommend it anyway if movies ever make you think about shit because it's just a deep movie if you remember.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
good thing for me is I just turn my brain off a lot of the times when I watch stuff.
That's fair.
So
I just remember the last time I watched this movie, it was probably sometime last year because I was like, you know what, I haven't watched Joker in a while. I'm bored. I'm just gonna watch it. Watched the whole movie. Couldn't sleep for like the next 2 hours. I was just thinking about shit. I'm like, man, our world is really screwed up, isn't it? Yes, it is. Are we the problem? Is society to blame? All these questions going through my mind.
and then you were just thinking,
And I was just thinking, am I a bad person for sympathizing with the fucking Joker?
no, there were a lot of people who were saying Thanos was right with genocide. So